I'm pretty excited about this video today. I'm going to be comparing this Haloview MC7109 camera system to our existing Voyager wireless camera system that came with our camper. That camera has served us pretty well for the last year. However, the image quality and screen size leave a lot to be desired. I'm really excited to be testing this out because it has a much bigger screen and a much higher resolution. So let me show you what we already have installed inside the truck. One of the most important and useful tools that we have in our rig is our backup camera. Our 2019 NuCamp Cirrus 920 truck camper came with a factory installed package that included a camera and this display. This is a Voyager wireless camera system, and it's been pretty good for the last year or so. I find it hard to see, especially in bright daylight, and the resolution on it is pretty low. So I'll be really interested to see how the Voyager compares to the Haloview. I was on the hunt for a new camera system to use alongside our existing setup. As luck would have it, Haloview reached out to us and offered to send us one of their MC7109 camera systems in exchange for an honest review. We didn't receive any financial compensation for making this video, and this review is going to be my honest thoughts and opinions about it. There's no sense in getting rid of the existing camera system since it still works fine, but I would love to have an additional angle to use while I'm driving. I use it all the time for changing lanes when I'm backing into a campsite or just doing maybe a 3-point turn at the end of a dirt road that we couldn't quite make it down. So my goal with this setup is to use the old camera system for some other weird angle, probably to look down at the corners of the camper, and use the new camera system as our primary angle. That's going to let me see traffic behind us as well as kind of the wide view of when I'm backing up. So I'm really excited to install this and see what kind of improvement it can offer. But the only way to find that out is to test it out. Alright, so we're on the road and it's been good so far. I just want to double check these parking lines. So the adjustments allow you to go right and left, and front and back, and I think I'm going to bring it up a little closer because that's where I'll be. Then I'll test it in the parking lot. Alright, so I'm cruising down the road and both cameras are a little choppy right now, and I think one of the problems might be both cameras are operating on the exact same frequency. Yeah, now the other one's cutting out completely now. So it's either where we are or they're interfering with each other. I think I might go remove the antenna off the other one. I can't really turn it off because it's hardwired. Alright, so I was able to get the other camera shut off, and now the Haloview is nice and smooth. Has the occasional hiccup and flicker, but I don't know if that's the area we're in, because it'll go through periods where it's smooth as glass and then it will get a little choppy and then it'll go back to being smooth. But it's a huge improvement over the Voyager. It's fairly smooth, a little bit choppy, and I really think that has to do with the other camera. It's right next to it, causing interference. It's on the same 2.4 gigahertz spectrum. So we're gonna zip into a Walmart and take advantage of their parking lot. So I've perfectly centered myself in the lines. Now I can adjust this so that everything's perfectly centered. Alright, so I'll go in here, we'll get the lines perfect. Well, I'd say that's close enough. I'm going to turn the audio on.
Sure.
Alright, let's see what it looks like and what it sounds like. Oh, look at that! That's perfect.
How was that?
It was actually pretty good. I could hear you. You said go right, go left, and
yeah.
It's a little bit tinny, but it's just, I mean, it's great if I'm backing up and you're going to yell at me and say, because sometimes I can't hear you with the engine running and all that stuff, so I'm hoping that would work. So I just turn it off and on when we need it.
That's cool.
Well, it certainly works well for backing up. It's so much better and clearer than our old camera. So I definitely really like it. I'm going to look into getting some additional cameras. I love it. It's getting dark out, but it's not completely dark yet, and I wanted to check the cameras. Both cameras have infrared lights on them, but obviously the Haloview is visible. I can see that in the camera and in person. I've dimmed both of these. They're about the same brightness. The Haloview is much more evenly lit, and I can see a lot more detail. The Voyager is, well, it doesn't even compare. The other thing is in the Voyager, you can see this bright ring. That is the infrared lights, and they seem to shine in one spot, one circle like that. I don't see anything like that on the Haloview. So it's a much more even light. I would say that the display and the camera are both much better quality. Okay, now it's pitch black out. I can even hear coyotes in the distance. On the Voyager, we can see that typical circle with a little bit of illumination of the garage door over here. On the Haloview, there's definitely a, like a flashlight circle pattern, but you can see so much more detail. Nighttime's challenging for any camera. I would say the Haloview clearly wins this one. So I have to back out of this short road. I'm sure you can tell the difference between the two cameras. The new camera has way better color. It's much bigger. And they have a similar delay, probably at this speed, like a quarter of a second, a half a second, something like that. This one always reflects. This one doesn't. So this really, really helps. So far, my only complaint is I just can't get it to stay. It keeps doing that. It hangs down. I'm sure that I forgot some kind of test to do with this, but it's been a really good camera system. I'm super happy with it. I honestly can't think of a reason why I want to keep that Voyager anymore. I think I'm going to get rid of that and just purchase a couple extra cameras to use with this so that I have some side angles and maybe even a front mount. What did you think of it?
I think it's great. The picture quality is so much better. You can see so much more, and you can actually see colors, because with the Voyager, it was mostly kind of black and white, a little bit of gray, a little bit of some hints of color, but not much. And with this camera, you can just see so much more.
I'm rather impressed with it. I didn't know what to expect. I kind of thought backup camera's a backup camera or rear view camera. It's a huge improvement, and with the extra size, with the sunshade around it, with the matte screen, it's just so much easier on my eyes. We've used it for a couple days now and probably a couple hundred miles of driving.
You can definitely feel the quality. It's very well designed. You can really see that.
But for the price, I think it's right around 300 bucks. I've seen it for like 289, 310, something like that. Amazon just had it listed for 300. I think it's an excellent deal, especially the fact that you can expand it to 4 cameras, and the buttons are nice and responsive. So I definitely think that I'm sold on that. I'm gonna probably get rid of the other camera and just use this one. I plan on making an update in the future as I learn more about this and have a little bit more time with it. But so far, I love it. I'm really impressed.
The other thing that I personally liked was the fact that I don't have to yell anymore. I can just say like left, right, and he's able to hear me, so we don't have to be on the phone. Like, I don't have to be like extremely loud. I'm not a super loud person, so it's been really challenging for me. And now
that's true. I forgot about that.
We can actually communicate. Well, he can hear me. So that's a huge improvement.
She's been able to yell like, stop. And the big thing is that sometimes I can't see a branch above me, or there's a stump in the way or something like that. We haven't done a lot of boondocking lately. We're in Texas right now, and we've had to stay at mostly campgrounds. But I'm looking forward to being able to use that when we're backing into some really challenging spots, because I can see so much more detail. Right now we're parked in a puddle, mostly
submerged underwater.
I was trying to get some mud off my tires, and this seemed to be a good spot to do it. So all in all, I would say my review on this is it's excellent, especially for the price. It's a really well-built unit. It came with all the accessories that I needed. The only thing I didn't have for tools was I didn't have the correct size hole saw, so I kind of had to drill a hole and then open it up a little bit with my knife, and that worked fine. If you guys have any questions about this Haloview camera system, please let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer it. If I have to, I'll make another update video explaining anything that I forgot to cover in this review. I'm also going to leave a link down in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing this. And if you're on the fence about getting a backup camera or a rear view camera of any kind, you absolutely want to do it. It's such a huge improvement to our driving.
So we were super excited to review this camera. We really, really, really like it. And we're actually curious, what backup systems do you use?
And if you found this video helpful, or if you liked it at all, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps us.
And consider subscribing to our channel. That helps us too. Thank you for watching.
And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.